Today, Michael Jackson often speaks about the abuse he suffered at the hands of his father. When he gave his controversial 2003 interview with Warren Bashir, quick tears came to his eyes when he remembered the day his dad treated him. It was bad, he said of the beatings, real bad. Watching Michael as he took himself back to the days in Gary when his father hit him was truly painful. Clearly, years later, he was still traumatized by that part of his childhood. Well, Michael was a fascinating child. Ever since Michael was very young, he seemed different to me from the rest of the children, Catherine said. I don't believe in reincarnation, but you know how babies move so uncoordinated? Michael never moved that way. When he danced, it was as if he were an older person. Michael was always precious. His mother has recalled that at the age of a year and a half, he would hold his ball and dance to the rhythm of the washing machine. His grandmother, Crystal Johnson, her later married name, was recalled that he began singing when he was about 3, and what a beautiful voice he had, she enthused. Even back then, he was a joy to listen to. Michael was too sensitive a boy to be manhandled the way he was by his father. He was also quick in his feet and determined to avoid an acceleration with Joseph. T remembered that Michael was so quick that if my mother or father used to swing at him, he'd be out of their way. They'd be swinging at air. Joseph believed in the value and impact of brute force as a disciplinary tool. Either you're a winner in this life or a loser, he liked to say. And none of my kids are going to be losers. To be sure of that, he would smack his kids without giving it a second thought in order to keep them on the right track on to being winners. Shoving them into walls was not unusual behavior for him, especially the boys. Michael, however, was the one in the family who would attempt to fight back when provoked by his father. Once he was just 3, Joseph spanked him for something he had done. Crying, Michael then took off one of his shoes and hurled it at his father. Joseph ducked, the shoe missed him. Are you crazy? Joseph screamed at him. Boy, you just signed your own death warrant. Get over here. Infuriated, Joseph grabbed Michael and, according to Marlin, held him upside down by one leg and pummeled him over and over again with his hand, hitting him on his back and buttocks. Soon Michael was crying and screaming so loudly it seemed as if he was trying to summon the entire neighborhood to his aid. Put him down, Joseph, Catherine hollered. You're gonna kill him, you're gonna kill him. When Joseph released the boy, he ran to his room sobbing. I hate you. Those were funny words for Joseph. He followed Michael into the bedroom, slammed the door, and didn't let him have it. Joseph once locked Michael in a closet for hours, said a friend of the Jackson families. That was traumatizing, horrible for him. Catherine didn't know how to reconcile herself to her husband's treatment of their children. How could a man so gentle at times that he would kiss her fingertips in a romantic moment, turn around and beat her children? His behavior simply isn't the spirit of her understanding as a God-fearing woman. However, she didn't know what to do about him. As much as she loved him, she feared him. She would speak up at times, but reluctantly. In truth, Catherine had also been the target of Joseph's fury. Ruby was a baby. Joseph was on edge because of sleep deprivation and a heavy work schedule. One day he returned home to a crying baby, only to find Catherine outside talking to one of the neighbors. He ran out to get her. The kid is screaming her head off, she shouted. Catherine immediately returned to the baby's side. I'm sorry, Joseph, she said, according to her memory. I didn't know she had awakened. Suddenly, Joseph turned around and smacked his wife across the face. My cheek went numb, Catherine recalled. Her reaction was swift and immediate fury. She took a ceramic bottle warmer and threw it at him with everything she had in her. It struck him in his forearm and shattered, cutting him deeply. Blood gushed from the wound as the two argued. Don't you ever hit me again, Catherine warned him, or I'll leave you so fast your head will spin. Catherine says that the violent episode marked the first and last time Joseph ever struck her, but apparently he turned his violent temper on her children. When Michael was 5, he tumbled into a room and his breath taken away when Joseph tripped him and he fell to the ground, bloody. That's for what you get. That's what you did yesterday, Joseph said. And tomorrow I'm gonna get you for what you'll do today. Michael began to cry, but I didn't even do nothing yet, he said through his tears. Oh, you will, boy, Joseph said. You will. From that point onward, whenever young Michael walked into a room, he looked left then right, as if crossing the street. He was hoping to avoid his father. How does a young boy deal with such fear? I began to be scared of that man, Michael really recalled. In fact, I guess it's safe to say that I hated him. Michael recalled that his father was always a mystery to me, and he knows it. One of the things that regret most is never being able to have real closeness with him. In truth, none of the Jackson children ever developed a real closeness with Joseph. He was not appreciated toward them. Sometimes he took his boys camping and fishing on weekends or taught them how to box to defend themselves. But he never paid much attention to the girls. As a toddler, Jenna liked to crawl into bed with her mother and father, but she had to wait until Joseph was asleep. Aspects of Joseph's parenting are unconventional, to say the least. Whenever the boys left their bedroom window open at night, he would go outside, climb into the room, and then scream at them at the top of his lungs, while wearing a fright mask. The youngsters would begin crying and hyperventilating, frightened half to death. Why would a father cause his children so much trauma? Joseph explains that he was trying to demonstrate why they should not leave the windows open at night. After all, what if a burglar were to enter the house? Martha and Marlon would, for many years afterward, suffer from vivid nightmares of being kidnapped from the safety of their bedrooms. Suffice it to say that as he grew older, Michael pulled about as far away from Joseph as he could, clinging to his mother, whom he adored as if his very life depended on it, and maybe it did. Even with 9 children, she treated each of us an only child. He remembered in his letter 1991. Because of Catherine's gentleness, warmth, and attention, I can't imagine what it must be like to grow up without a mother's love. What an ironic statement considering that 2 of his children are today being raised without their mother, Debbie Rowe. The lessons she taught us were invaluable: kindness, love, and consideration for other people headed her list. As for Joseph, I used to throw up whenever I thought of him, Michael recalled. Succinctly, in his 2003 Martin Brashear interview, he noted that Joseph has blue eyes. Clearly, he hasn't looked into his father's in some time. They're hazel, almost green.